Guys, guys, what did I just watch? What did I just watch? What was that? What was that? All right, before we try to dive into what that finish was, welcome everybody to the Cutline. I'm your host Armani DePaul, and yeah, we just had Kansas. I don't even know what to call that. Like, seriously, all those Toyotas up there and they still can't win. That is, bro, you already know the Toyota executives are mad as hell. Like, you had 5 of them in the top 5, and you still can't get the win. What's up, NR? Shout out to you, man. You were in the stream last night, which, by the way, if you guys didn't know, yesterday I did kind of like just a fun little community stream. You know, talked a little bit about what was going on in the community, did an iRacing race. Actually, now that I think about it, probably the wreck I had at iRacing last night should have been a sign of you know, what the thumbnail and what the title is of the episode. Yeah, glad Zane is okay. I mean, yeah, you know how crazy that, Corey, you understand how crazy that is? You had a driver literally just right in the wall like he's Cruz Ramirez, and just walks out just like, yeah, I mean, it sucks. I just got wrecked. I don't know what to tell you. Like, just acting like, yeah, it happened. Like, he stepped on a Lego. I think stepping on a Lego, it hurts more than getting into a wreck in one of these cars now. Oh my God. Like, I'm just trying to just process everything I saw. Cause, like, you had Denny almost winning off of power steering. Chase comes out of nowhere. Bubba pretty much uses Bell like a doormat and just moves him out the way, essentially. Oh my goodness. That was insane. We might as well just jump straight into it. Let's see, I believe it is right here. Indeed it is. So, the camera's a little wonky. Let's see if there we go. Much better. All right, so like we normally do throughout these playoffs, we're going to go through each driver, and we're just going to talk about their days, how they did, and shout out to my boy Brian. Shout out to Brian. He's the guy who handles the socials for the Daily Downforce, and he gave me a screenshot of the playoffs, so we will go over that after all of this. So, Chase Elliott, where did he come from? Like, I know he was running top 5, he was running top 10 for a lot of the day, but like, you know, I just didn't think he really had it for the Toyotas. I thought it was going to be Hamlin, Bell, Bubba, Briscoe, one of those guys. But then, holy cow, Eric, holy cow indeed. Like, that was insane. But Elliott just stayed there methodically. Didn't do anything ridiculous. And I believe he had 4 tires, whereas everyone else had 2. So he had a tire advantage over everyone, but again, he was buried so far in the pack that no one thought it was really going to mean anything. Then you had Bubba, which we'll get to him later on, take out Bell. Then you had Hamlin come out of nowhere and almost take out Bubba. And then Elliott just comes in, sneaks down the middle, and then it's just like, oh yeah, I'll take this, thank you very much. I did not have Chase Elliott winning this race on my bingo card. I picked Denny to win the race. It looked like it was going to happen. And it almost did happen, but then again, you know, chasing and just sneaking on the bottom, that would have been another point for me in fantasy. And let me tell you, when Denny was you know, passing Bubba, I was screaming in my living room because I'm like, about to get another point, about to get another point. And then Chase comes out of nowhere. That was one of the best races at Kansas in a long time, except the photo finish in 2024. Kansas had a lot of solid races. So, I mean, yeah, this is one of the best that they've had in quite some time. But Chase, you know, ever since that win in Atlanta, he's kind of been nowhere. You know, he kind of went back to actually kind of worse to what he did before. Where, yeah, he was running top 5. But actually, no, he wasn't even really running top 5. He was running top 10. A lot of finishes outside the top 15. A lot of finishes outside the top 20. Almost made it. Almost got eliminated in the round of 16. Was on the cut line, you know, before he won the race to make it into the round of 8. I had to make in the round of 8. But, you know, he's very close on that cut line. And then he just ran a good race. Ran top 5. Ran top 10. And, you know, when chaos erupted, that 9 car was up front. So you have to give credit to Chase. I mean, he got the job done, and he locks himself into the round of 8. And this is the first time, might I add. You know, we criticize Chase Elliott, like, he doesn't win a lot nowadays. He gets that 1 win a year, then he kind of just, kicks back. He's like what Kurt Busch used to be, where he got that 1 win a year, run top 5, run top 10, but he's never really going to be a factor for the championship. This is the first time since 2022 Chase Elliott has won multiple races in the season, so big credit to the 9 car. And locks himself into the round of 8, joining... Who locked himself in last week? Blaney. I forgot who won and Loudon. It was Blaney. That was insane. Yes, it was NCS. That race will be remembered for a long time. The 38 car is in NASCAR the king of the most remarkable flips. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Denny Hamlin, I really thought that, when the caution came out, I was thinking, oh, Denny, the power steering issues, he's going to have problems, holding out Bell, even though he's doing a pretty solid job. So I'm thinking, okay, the power steering issues, caution, he just got to come in, get his tires, and that's it. Then the pit crew screws up, and then it's like, all right, there goes his chance. But, we can talk about a lot. I mean, look at Denny's average running position here, 1.9. 159 laps led on the day. Swept the stages. Like, Denny, again, he ages like a fine wine. If only I had used the flip watch today instead of yesterday. Hey, man, I'm telling you, my flip yesterday, again, if you guys don't know, I did an iRacing stream yesterday, and on the last lap, I flipped, like, what was it, NCS, like 5 times? I managed to finish the race, so I did better than Zane Smith. I did better than Zane Smith, at least, on that. So that probably should have been a precursor of what we were going to see today. But yeah, back to Denny. I mean, I think given the power steering issues, given that his pit crew had problems, the fact that he was pretty much a lap, not even like a quarter of a lap away from winning the race. I mean, if you're Denny, you lead 159 laps, you dominate the race, you don't get the win, you don't get that 60th win you've been looking for forever. But all things considered, you got to be happy considering for that last like 30, 40 lap run, the cards were stacked against you. But second place for Denny, can't really get too mad at that, even though I did pick him and that would have been another point for me in fantasy. Christopher Bell, really good bounce back after a disappointing Loudon. Loudon is Bell's arguably his best track ever. And he didn't really do anything. Didn't show up, didn't have the pace. I think he finished outside the top 20. Then he comes to Kansas. Very good in qualifying, starting up front, and he stays up front. He stayed in the top 3 to the top 5 all day long. I mean, you can see the average running position here, 3.32. This is the Bell I've been waiting to see since March with that 3 in a row. That is why I didn't have Bell making the Final Four, and that's why I've been very skeptical of that 20 team coming into the playoffs, because if you looked at all the stats, if you just looked at the eye test, that 20 was really nowhere ever since they won that 3 in a row. I believe besides Dover, I can't remember another race from, Phoenix to Bristol where that 20 car could have won the race. But Bristol, tire wear, I know that one was a little finicky. Loudon didn't really show up, in a race we expected him to show up. But this is what I've been expecting from the 20 team all year. Race-winning speed, top 5, top 10, really showing that he's a championship contender. If Bell has more runs like this, I know the Roval, well, he's won there before, so he can do it there. Las Vegas, he's run up front there in the past. So this is a good set of tracks for him coming up. This is something that the 20 team needs to build on. They need to build on the fact that they have the race-winning pace. They need to build on the fact that they have the speed. So if that 20 team can have more runs like this and less of the runs of 15th, 7th, 10th, then they are going to cement themselves in contention to make the Final Four for the 3rd time in 4 years. Chase Briscoe, 4th place run. I mean, it was just a Toyota day. I know Toyota didn't get the win, but I mean, it was pretty much Toyota from start to finish. I mean, he won the pole, led 19 laps. Funny, 19 leads 19 laps. And, just another solid run for Briscoe. Someone was kind of teetering on the cut line. Had an okay run at Loudon, but not a great run. makes up for it here at Kansas. A phenomenal performance from the 19. Again, someone who a lot of people have as a dark horse championship contender. It's performances like this that show it. So good credit to Briscoe. When we get to the points, we'll see where everything stacks up as to when we go into the Roval. Briscoe isn't okay. He's an okay road course racer, but we'll see when we go into the Roval. I was told the 9 team was cooked. Well, when you're... Hey, credit to him. He got the win. Can't take that away from him. And he was... Will, I want you to understand something. This is what I expect from the 9. I expect this. What's up, Matt? I expect this from the 9. I expect race-winning pace. I expect top 5 speed. I'm not satisfied from a defending champion just running top 10, top 15. That is why I'm of the opinion that average finish is one of the most overrated stats in NASCAR. Because if you have an average finish of 10th, great. Harvick had that in 2021. He didn't win anything. So what does a good average finish mean if you can't even get into victory lane, if you can't run up front, and you can't lead laps? This is what I expect from the 9. If Chase, because we've seen this from Chase, even in the next gen era. So this is what I expect from the 9. So when he gets the job done, I give him credit. I expect this from Chase. I don't expect the 10th place finish. I expect the top 5 and a race win, because that is what we've been accustomed to see from Chase Elliott. Absolutely, the 9 team is about to be dangerous, because think about it. Roval, he's good at. He's good at Vegas. He's good at Talladega. He's good at Martinsville. So this is a good set of tracks for Chase Elliott to come up. And I believe I did have Chase making the Final 4 this year. So he bagged some more playoff points. He can easily run up front again at the Roval. He's got, I think, 2 or 3 wins there. I know they were in the Gen 6, but still. And yeah, let's be honest here. Chase got the win because he just doored Denny. Let's be real here. But, hey, you got to do what you got to do to get the win. So, who's next up? Bubba. That's going to be an interesting Toyota meeting. Nicholas, let's go. Chase Elliott, round of 8, baby. Let's go. And Bubba Wallace, what was that? You had the win in your pocket. All you had to do was pass Bell without trying to punt him. The wall you might want. Yeah, let's get into Bubba right now. That first restart when, Zane Smith decided to ride the wall. Bubba was, yeah, that was an epic raging. Bubba looked like he was setting sail to win the race. Maybe Briscoe would have made it 3 wide and made it interesting, but Bubba was pretty much set to win the race. Obviously, Reddick didn't really give him too many help, didn't give him too much help in terms of the restart, so that was a little disappointing for Bubba, but you knew that 23 was not going to give up that win. He said, I don't care if you're a teammate, I don't care if you're Toyota, you're not winning this race, it's a matter of how bad do you want it, because I want it bad more than you. And Bubba proved that because, he was set to win that race. The problem was, Bubba got so infatuated with Bell, he forgot about Denny. And what I think Bubba was thinking about was, okay, Denny gets here, he's got power steering issues, he's not really going to be able to do anything. But he was dead wrong, because Denny obviously nearly won the race if Chase didn't endure him. And Bubba, he went from pretty much guaranteed to win to finishing 5th. A solid run from Bubba, but when we look at the points, Bubba needed to win today. He was not in a good points position coming into this race. And that first half of the race, that first stage, was not a great showing from the 23. They qualified well, but that first stage, they were abysmal. They were like 19th, 20th. They just fell like a rock. And then credit to Charles Denike and the 23 team for making the adjustments necessary to move their way back up to the front and back into the top 5 to put Bubba in a position to win the race. Again, Bubba, we're still trying to get used to the idea of Bubba really being a contender, because this 23, we've seen it throughout his career. When the pressure is on, he tends to crack more than stand. Obviously, he won the Brickyard under tremendous pressure from Kyle Larson, so that is something to note. He did do that. Another thing is that, today is the exact opposite, where he had the win, he had to compete with Bell, but he cracked under pressure. Let's just be honest. And instead of winning the race and automatically locking himself into the round of 8, he has to settle for a 5th place finish. So again, 5th place, not bad for Bubba, but you still wish you had a little bit more. Kyle Larson in 6, I mean, just a quiet day for the 5, the most recent Kansas winner. You know, he was running top 5, running top 10. He looked like he had some race-winning speed here or there, but just kind of been Kyle Larson these playoffs. Top 5, top 10 speed, glimpses of race-winning pace, but close, but no cigar. He's won at the Roval before. I believe he won at the Roval last year, so we know he can do it there. He's good at Vegas. Talladega, he's gotten better at plate racing, and of course, Martinsville, he's won in the past. So a good set of tracks is coming up for Larson, but again, kind of like how I was that same view of Bell, I need to see Larson actually put it together. I need to see Larson get back to this 159 lap lead mark. I need to see him start to win races again, because it's been a while. It's been since May. Tyler Reddick, kind of the same thing. I mean, like, you know, him and Bubba, I mean, you know, kind of quiet, ran outside the top 20 for much of the day, similar to Bubba, worked his way up through the field. That 45 has been very inconsistent to start the playoffs. I mean, besides Darlington, they've been kind of meh. Some good runs, a lot of bad runs. I mean, the 45, I mean, 7th place result is okay, but, I mean, you expect more to Tyler Reddick. Kind of similar to a Larson, an Elliott, a Bell. You expect him to run up front, to compete for wins, to compete for top 5s, and he just hasn't done that. I mean, yeah, he was running top 5 in that final restart, but, I mean, the 45, I mean, again, he never helped his teammate in a meaningful way. Yeah, in that final restart, he kind of did, but it still wasn't enough for Bubba to clear the 20. And that second to last restart, obviously he almost left his teammate out to dry. Obviously not intentionally, but he still did it, intentional or not. So he's going to the Roval, solid road course racer, but again, 45, I had him eliminated this round for a reason. Reasons like this. Byron in 9th. Wait a minute. I'm going to briefly go through Byron because there's really not much to talk about. Quiet. Didn't really do much. Top 10 result. Shane Van Gisbergen finished 10th. Shane Van Gisbergen, his first top 10 at an oval. Oh my goodness. Huh? Y'all, you're seeing this too, right? Shane Van Gisbergen, top 10 at an oval. Byron had a horrible day and got a great result, pretty much. But forget Byron right now. Shane Van Gisbergen, top 10 at an oval. You know what? Everyone, round of applause for SVG. You got to give him credit where credit is due. I mean, yeah, wow. I mean, he was running like top 20 for much of the day. But I guess because of all the restart shenanigans, he worked his way up. But top 10, first top 10 in an oval. Massive credit to Shane Van Gisbergen. My mouse got screwy here. Ross Chastain, you know, he's won at Kansas before. He won there last year. Obviously won the 600. So you figured if he was going to make any kind of run, this was going to be the race to do it. Didn't really do that. I mean, he ran top 10, bottom half of the top 10, finished outside the top 10. So not a great run for the one car. You would have liked to see a little more out of Chastain. And now we go into the Roval where he's a solid road course racer. But I don't know. I mean, I had him eliminating the round of 12 for a reason. And again, kind of this is where I expect the Chastain to be. Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Cindric, all the Penske cars round out the bottom. Logano, we're going to look at the points because I got a glimpse of them earlier. He's very lucky. He's going to be very lucky that after that big pileup that took out his teammate Cindric, that Blaney just had not a good day. Logano's lucky to get a 21st place finish. He's very, very lucky because we'll look at the points in just a second. He's still on the top. He's still on the inside looking out, if that makes any sense. Blaney, he's locked in. Really not much to talk about. Cindric, we knew this race was going to be a little finicky for him, but, you know, 30th place result. You want to see more out of the two car. He's in a must-win situation, and I don't know if he's going to win at the Roval. So, I am going to get the point standings really quick because My stupid self decided not to get that tab. So, where are we at here? All right. Here we go. Shout out to you, Brian, by the way. If you're watching this, Brian, shout out to you for the standings. So, Blaney, locked in, of course. Elliott, he won the race. This was pretty much like, checkered flag, obviously. Larson plus 54. He's all but locked in, assuming, he just doesn't crash on lap 1 of the Roval. Hamlin plus 48. He should be good. Bell plus 44. He should be good. Pretty much majority of the top 6 should be fine. Barring catastrophic results for Bell, Byron, and even to an extent Hamlin, these 6 should be okay. Briscoe, plus 21. You can sleep easy a little bit, but, you can sleep easy a little bit, but not great for Briscoe. Logano, plus 13. Again, very, very lucky for the 22. Plus 13. Got involved in that wreck. He's still got a pretty good cushion going into the Roval. The question is, do you trust the 22 to really move and hold that? Then we go to the bottom here. And this is what I'm talking about. Bubba needed to win this race. Yeah, 5th place is nice, but he's minus 26 on the cut line. He needed to win that race. And going into the Roval, yes, he's gotten better at road course races, but I don't see the 23 winning the Roval. Frankly, I don't see any of these guys winning the Roval. I don't see Chastain, Bubba, Reddick, or Cindric winning the Roval. Barring a crazy strategy, I'll be honest, I think this top 8 stays the way it is. I think Logano can maintain. I think his biggest challenger might be Chastain, because Reddick, he's a decent road racer, but he's too many points behind. So unless Logano has an abysmal run, he just has to worry about the 1. I think Briscoe will do enough, and then everyone up here is all but locked in at this point. So my final prediction is obviously the 2 are locked in Blaney and Elliott. Larson, Hamlin, Bell, Byron, Briscoe, and Logano will make the round of 8. And if we go back to my predictions from before, that means I will have 7 of the round of 8 correct. The only difference is you'd flip Bubba for Logano, because I had Bubba making the round of 8. So that is our quick little playoff rundown. Now we got to go to race weekend rankings. Pretty easy here. I'm going to put the Xfinity race at number 2. I mentioned it yesterday in the stream. I didn't get to watch too much of the race, but from what I saw, it seemed like it was an okay race. Nothing great, nothing fancy. Brandon Jones won the race. It looked like Reddick, not Reddick, Allgaier, he dominated, and then Brandon Jones came to life at the end, got the win, so good for them. Overall, okay race, nothing great, nothing special. And then, of course, the Cup race has to go number 1. That was phenomenal. Fantastic racing from start to finish. A phenomenal finish at the end. You had moments. You had side-by-side battles. It felt like dirty air wasn't too much of a factor. But, yeah, Kansas was a great race. I mean, again, he had so many moments. He had the big wrecks. Of course, he had the wall ride with Zane Smith. You had the fantastic finish. Bubba, Bell, Hamlin, Elliott, Briscoe, Reddick, you name it. Yeah, the finish probably gives it a few more points, but, I mean, that's what we're going to remember at the end of the day. Moving on to the race weekend rankings for the 2025 tier. I'll probably put Xfinity in somewhere in the C tier. And then, I believe, I don't know if I'm willing to go as far as to make it a S tier race, but I will put this very high. I'll put it in the A tier. I don't think it's quite an S tier race. I think that there were a few just lull moments throughout the race. Like Hamlin dominating for a good portion of it. Really, the race came to life in the final, third of the race. So, it's still good enough for A tier. But I don't think, all these S tier races, they were good from start to finish. Michigan, Atlanta, Xfinity Mexico, the Coke 0400, Bristol Night Race, all of these were phenomenal from start to finish. This was still a very, very great race, but I can't say it was phenomenal from flag to flag. So that is the 2025 Race Weekend Rankings Post-Kansas Playoff Edition. And it's actually a pretty quick one. You know, these playoff streams have been pretty quick. So that's going to do it for me, guys. A tier, that's not quite S tier. Yeah, agreed. Xfinity was by the numbers. It was okay. Agreed. But that's going to do it for me, guys. You know, that's going to do it for me. Talk about Kansas. A quick rundown. Of course, the race weekend rankings, I'll have that up as well on the Daily Downforce website. But speaking of which, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And please like this stream and subscribe to the Daily Downforce YouTube channel. That helps me out a ton. Check out dailydownforce.com for all sorts of great content over there. But that's going to do it for me, folks. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we will see you in the next video or stream. Ignore that part.